Welcome, everybody. This is our exclusive call with Joel Freeman for our Diesel Nation FITFAM 3-day experience. I'm really excited that you're here. I know we have a big group here that represents not only our coaching team, but those that our coaching team invited to this 3-day group. Before I start the conversation with Joel, which you guys are gonna love, he's like so amazing and one of our most popular super trainers. I want to kind of give you an overview of this group so you know what to expect going forward. We had a little bit of a reschedule with the Joel call, so the flow is just a tad bit different. Totally cool. Like I said in the group today, Joel teaches us to pivot in 10 rounds. We just pivoted today and we changed up the order. This group and its purpose is intended to educate. Basically, we had this idea that if we put together 3 days of breaking down exactly what us coaches do to help the customers that come to us for their health and fitness goals. I think that based on where we are right now in the world and what we're experiencing with this pandemic, that we've had a big and significant shift. And I don't know if you guys feel it. I know I do, as someone that has been in health and fitness now for 10 years. I'm actually not sure I said what my name was. It's Christina Delgado, but you can probably read that there. I've been a coach for 10 years. And I will tell you that a very significant part of those 10 years, we've been focused on weight loss. Not everybody. I think most coaches, especially those that I'm looking at on this call that have been with us for quite a few years and months, appreciate the effects of long-term health and fitness goals and not just the superficial ones, the ones where we're looking at a scale or we're looking at inches or things that in the grand scheme of things are just a very small piece of this equation. I think we've had a shift. I believe and I hope that we've had a shift, one where we're looking at this lifestyle as more of a long-term commitment, where we're not so focused on what our physical appearance looks like, but how our bodies function on the inside and how we are treating our bodies, both our hearts and our cardiovascular systems with our fitness programs, but also what we're putting in our bodies for nutrition. And so we thought that we would put together this group with this call as the big exclusive bonus for you so that we can break down exactly what it is that we have done in the last 10 years, in the last 5 years or months that our coaches have been with us in living this lifestyle. I believe, and what Beachbody really believes, is that we have 4 main pillars. That is number 1, fitness. Number 2, nutrition. Number 3, it's our community, which I think is the secret sauce. And I see Monica shaking her head. And number 4, it's mindset. That's what I believe makes us successful. So what we're gonna do in this group is break that down for you so that you hear not only success stories, but that you understand how each of those pieces is critical to your long-term success. We can't just do our workouts. Even though we love Joel, and you're gonna love him even more after this call, Joel knows that it's not just his amazing workouts that are important, it's also nutrition. It's also our challenge groups and our accountability and our community that help us stay accountable to our health and fitness goals. And then it's mindset. And so what we've done is invite a few coaches, including myself, to break that down. So tomorrow you're gonna have a series of lives that you're gonna watch. The first one is gonna be from my big sister and my coach, Becky Brose, who is our fitness guru on our team. She is literally walking proof of what our fitness products do to you in the long term, not in the short term. Not for 21 days, not for 60, not for 3 months or 90 days, but for years. And how that consistency builds on top of each other, program after program, after program, after program, to create a habit that you become completely obsessed with, which is what we want. And I don't know about you, if you haven't done any of our programs, I just did 10 rounds and I'm obsessed with that program. And I'm not just saying that because Papa Joel's on the call. I'm saying that because I am literally obsessed with 10 rounds. It is empowering, and then the metaphor of fighting right now in this pandemic that we're all dealing with was perfect timing. We're going to have Fran Azell, who came on to Beachbody to fix her nutrition. She's going to talk to us about our fundamental foundational nutrition programs, which are Ultimate Portion Fix and To Be Mindset, and how that, as well as our nutritional detoxes, Ultimate Reset, 3-day refresh, have created a habit for her and a consistency in nutrition that is just rock solid, and how that plays a role in this whole environment of success. We've asked Lauren Bondi, who is fairly new to our coaching world, but has had immense success with our products, both fitness and nutrition, to talk about how the community, how our challenge groups have been the secret sauce for her success. You guys, you're gonna see her transformation. I think she might have dropped it already in our transformation post in the group. It's mind-blowing. And I will tell you that while she had the tools to be successful, it was what kept her accountable to those goals that have created massive success. She also took part in the 10 rounds group and fell in love with that program as well. And now it's a lifestyle. It's program after program after program that is keeping her in she's just on fire. And you're going to meet her tomorrow too. And then on Thursday, I will come in and talk about mindset. That's my secret sauce. That's what I believe separates those that take this and run with it and create long-lasting habits than those that don't. Coming in with that positive mindset, that positive attitude, that no matter what, I'm going to do this, no excuses type mindset is what creates that long-term mindset that's going to take you across the finish line, whatever that may be. So that's what we're doing in this group. And the purpose of it is to inspire you to take action in your life, because we're just a few steps before you. We know how impactful this has been, and we want you to feel how we feel. We want you to become obsessed in the best way, in saying that word in the best way possible, with a healthy lifestyle, and that you see this as a long-term commitment. So with that said, I think Joel's on. He is on. Joel, if you can go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm going to put you on speaker mode so I can see you.
I don't even want to talk. I want just Christina to just keep talking and just keep firing everybody up, because I'm done. There's nothing I need to say. Nothing. Nada.
I'm done. I have nothing.
That's amazing. You're amazing.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. And thank you so much for offering this call. We love Papa Joel. You have helped change our life with your programs.
Thank you. So first and foremost, I have to do, like I gotta say hi, Becky. I gotta say hi, Christina. Hi, Monica. Hi, my whole Miami crew. You guys know how much I love you. Look, we had to film part of the program there for crying out loud. So, but first and foremost, all you guys too, thank you for pivoting and allowing me to change this up. Just so you know, because Christina, I don't know if you told them, I have a good reason, because I'm keeping my wife happy by taking her to Mexico tomorrow. So, like, happy wife, happy life. I'm living that world. So that's why I messaged Christina yesterday. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And we legit bought the tickets yesterday. I'm like, it's time to leave. We got to go. And we've stayed home long enough. We're leaving. So we got our mask. We got our disinfectant. We got our all the stuff. We're going to Mexico. It's time to play. Time to play a little bit.
Well, we want you to enjoy that. That's why it was. Oh my God, Danny just scared me outside. What a jerk. We want you to enjoy that trip, and you've worked so hard with creating 10 rounds over the last year or so, filming just recently. So enjoy yourself, and you absolutely deserve it. A lot of us are still doing the program, and we love it. So thank you for that.
I'm still going to do it too. Hey, doesn't mean I'm not going to do the workout. Like I promised everybody that I was starting the rematch 2 days ago, started on Monday. I am fully on in the rematch. I will be doing it there. The gym might be closed, so the weightlifting thing might be a little interesting, but I promise you I will be doing, at least the boxing workouts 100% while I'm there. And so you guys keep me accountable, so everybody's doing the rematch right now. I love that, because you're going to talk more about that later, but that accountability it keeps me accountable as well, which is so important.
Absolutely. Well, before I ask Joel the intro question that he knows it's coming, it's going to be the softball of the evening. Just know that in the group, you guys, I dropped the 10 rounds free workout. And tomorrow morning, first thing, bright and early, like at 6 a.m., a post is going to go up asking you for your sweaty selfie. So not only are we educating you on what we do and inspiring you to join us, but we want you to work out too. So do the 10 rounds free workout. It's probably like the best free workout that we have. It's so much fun. And it's going to give you insight into our brand new program, 10 rounds, that Joel created. And it's freaking awesome. So we want everybody to do that. So coaches, make sure you tag your people in that. All right, Joel, first question.
All right, bring it on.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm 5'11". I have brown hair and brown eyes, and I love walks on the beach in Mexico, which is why we're going to Mexico. So me personally, let's see. This has been my world. This has been my life. This has been, and there's a lot of people on here that have no clue who I am, which you really shouldn't, because unless you've done Beachbody, that's about it. But so for me personally, let's see, originally from Southern California, grew up in West Texas, went to school at Texas Tech, kind of went to school. Like I was there. I didn't go to class. Because I just wasn't feeling any of it. I wasn't tied to any of it. I just went to school went to college because that's what you're supposed to do out of high school, right? So I went and just was not interested in any of it. So I bartended. In Texas, you can bartend at 18, which is awesome, by the way, and had a lot of fun doing that. So I bartended at night. I framed houses during the day. I did construction, and was going through, just kind of going through the motions of school, and then got tired of the framing houses, and during the West Texas sun, Lubbock, Texas is not fun, by the way, in the middle of the day. So I was like, I'm done. And I got my first job at a gym. It was the front desk job at a small gym in Lubbock at 19. And it was the 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. shift, like the graveyard shift. And I was already up all night anyway, so I was like, all right, that's fine. But you see some weird things, by the way, for people who come in at 3 a.m. to work out. Like you meet some weird people. But what I didn't realize then, and when I look back on now and I tell this story, what I realized was like, that job set me up into this because I was the only employee there during that shift. So I had to learn, part of the training was I had to learn how to sell a membership. I had to learn how to sell personal train and talk to people. I even had to know how to like fix a treadmill if it broke, like basic, fixing things. So I had to learn so much so quickly that it was almost like a crash course into the gym world. And because of that, I just had that knowledge. Usually when you work a front desk job, like you don't get any trick. Like here's your 3 things you have to do. This was massive. So because of that, I just started quickly moving my way up, because it was like, started selling gym memberships, started doing this, and just really good at talking to people. Like when you bartend, that's your job, is to talk to people, right? And I was always good at that. So just kept going in that direction on the business side. And that's really where the majority of my career, up until Beachbody, which I'll get to, but up until Beachbody, my career was the business of health and fitness, from the gym perspective. And then I did leave Texas Tech, and moved up to Washington State, Olympia, Washington, lived up there for 8 years. Basically, I said I hated sun. So I went up to the Pacific Northwest and realized that I really don't hate sun. I really like it. So I enjoyed living up there, but it's only nice 3 months out of the year. So that was a problem for me. But while I was up there, managed gyms, worked in a couple different ones, started teaching group exercise classes as well. Worked for the Washington State Department of Health for 4 years in Olympia, Washington. So it was on the government side, excuse me. And so again, just I've been in like every facet in some degree over the years. And then in 2011, moved back down to California, and started working with Gold's Gym. Very iconic franchise, obviously, or iconic name. Worked for the California franchise, Southern California franchise, as their group X director, and then became their marketing director. So early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, I was at that point, I'm the marketing director for a gym franchise. Like, I'm happy. I got a great career. And then throughout the years, though, it's all about conversations, people you meet. Had done some work with Beachbody before, and then super long story short with that one. Got the call to ask if I wanted to come over and do a program, which ended up being Core de Force, with my teammate Jericho McMatthews. We had a lot of fun doing that, and then honestly, the rest is history on that. So with that, it's kind of crazy when you think about it now. Next year is my 10-year anniversary with Beachbody. which is insane to think about that they've kept me around that long. And they actually got rid of me once through the partnership with Les Mills, and then they even brought me back. So, joke's on them. But I've enjoyed it. I love it. And I can't imagine to be anywhere else now. So now from 19 to 37, that's how old I am right now. And this has been my world. This has been my life, is what I do. And what I love about this is because in the gym world, you are geographically isolated. You can only reach so many people, right, in this vicinity around you, because only so many people are going to drive to it. I have no geographic isolation right now. I am talking to you guys from all over the country, and this is amazing. So this is my favorite part about this, are these calls right here, which is why I was like, Christina, can we do a call, please? But I don't know, make something up. That'd be awesome.
And
you're lonely over here.
Oh my gosh. So you guys, I've been a coach for almost 10 years, and I remember my first summit was Joel's first summit.
Yeah.
And that was after that partnership with Les Mills, where he was in Les Mills Pump, which still to this day, so many of the old school coaches love that program. And Joel, I mean, just an insider, we don't have that program on Beachbody On Demand, but Joel has a workout where the song is called Dirty Chest, and that became his I mean, that was Joel, right? And he made sure
you know what?
Dirty Chest.
No. Here's the problem with that. The song wasn't even called Dirty Chest. I just said Dirty Chest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't even know why. It didn't even make sense. I just said it. It was like the song itself was like, I don't remember what the song was, but it was something that I was like, oh, we're getting down and dirty Chest. And then that became a thing. I'm like, really? That's what everyone picked up on. But it did become a thing. It was kind of funny. So I did own that. I even owned it.
Honestly, I actually think that was when the whole put sayings on shirts started. It was 30.
I can't take full credit for starting hashtag on shirts, but by God, we might as well right now.
Yeah, I think so. Well, that was so much fun. And so you've had a few.
Oh yeah,
sorry. You've had a few programs with Beachbody. So why don't you talk a little bit about the programs that you have created for Beachbody, kind of what's different about them, before I kind of get into your take on what us coaches do and to help us inspire these people to join us.
For sure. Les Mills Pump was a lot of fun. That was the partnership, a collaborative partnership between Beachbody and Les Mills to take the world of Body Pump, which is the group exercise program that's available in a lot of gyms around the world. Les Mills is based out of Auckland, New Zealand, and had done a lot of work with them over the years. And so Les Mills Pump was that home version of that group exercise program. After we did Les Mills Pump, they also did one that was called Les Mills Combat. And then we weren't in that one, even though everyone says, they're like, Joel, you were in that. I'm like, pretty sure I wasn't. That guy's name was Dan, and he's a foot shorter than me. But we still represented that. And then those two companies split up. But what we were asked to do, my first project with Beachbody exclusively, was with Jericho McMatthews, my teammate now. She was from Les Mills as well. So the coaching world knew us and knew who we were, and he wanted us to create something that was mixed martial arts inspired, but bringing a more of an authentic level of training to it. Getting out of the group exercise feel, but but still bringing a level of fun as well as a level of authenticity to it. So that's what we were tasked with. That was our first project. It was interesting because it was also, besides being our first product, home program, we came from the gym world, and I was working at Gold, she was working for Les Mills. We were also that was also about the world of still DVDs. So writing a program back then, I personally think was more challenging, because when you are looking at a 30-day program and you only have so many workouts that you can do, because it's all tied to disc space and keeping the price point low and all these different things, you got to be really creative. So it was a challenge for us to do that, especially never having done it before. We're damn proud of it. We think it was a lot of fun. Those workouts are, if you go back and you try a couple of those workouts, you're like, whoa. They're very, very challenging, and it's a technical program as well, but we really, really are very proud of that program. We also made it into a Beachbody Live format that was around for a few years before Beachbody Live went away. So that was just a really big, it was a big first step for us. It was a jumping off point, if you will, because we had no a say in the world of Les Mills Pump. That was already pre-written, and we were just basically talent at that point. So it was a very, very big transition for us. Fast forward a couple of years later, then Lift 4 opportunity to do a solo project presented itself with Carl. Lift 4, and that was that's my baby, man. That was the thing where I have 2 babies now. I have 10 rounds in Lift 4, really. But Lift 4 was what I wanted to get out of Lift 4 for everybody at the home world. Was number one, I wasn't tied to disc space anymore, so I was able to really get creative in the workouts and keep it changing, but yet still familiar, be progressive, yet still get results and stay effective. But make something that people felt like they weren't sacrificing part of their world for. And what I mean by that is there's so many times where people feel that the workouts are changing their day to day. Like, oh, I got to get up earlier to do this. I got to do that. And so I really wanted to create something for the first time that was truly moldable and flexible around your life. Because everybody's job is different. Everybody's home requirements are different, and kids and this and that. So I never want anybody to look at a program like Lift 4 and say, I can't do this because I don't have the time. Think of all these barriers that everyone always has to say starting a program. I don't have time, whatever it is. That program was fully intended to say, yes, you do, because it's only 30 minutes, only 4 days a week. It's 2 hours a week. You got time. So those are the things I wanted to do with that, and obviously change people's mentality about weightlifting as well. My favorite thing from ladies, especially, is like, I'm gonna get bulky. No, you won't. So weights don't make you bulky. Cupcakes make you bulky. I think we've established that, and people know that now. But it was really about getting, changing mentalities, changing education when it came to weightlifting. And then 10 rounds was, I was so excited to do it, but I was also scared to do it because I knew it was going to be a challenge. My world, what I love personally when it comes to fitness, is weightlifting and boxing. So to create a weightlifting and boxing program, I was like, yeah, I would love to. But boxing is also can be intimidating, and it's different when I'm there with you, or you're with the trainer and they're there helping you and fixing your form. So I knew it was going to be a challenge, and it did. It took a year, 6 months solid, nonstop of writing, testing. I scrapped it at least 10 times, just started right back over. I always had the DNA, I always had the skeleton structure of what I wanted, but it was a labor of love. And but I think we did pretty good with it. And then, we could have had no clue. You couldn't have written a book or a movie to go the way it did when this program came out, and what people actually need right now, because we all got some aggressions to get out right now. I think you can't hit kids, but you can hit air. So that's what this is. I think that's what people are really enjoyed about it.
Yeah, it really did come at the perfect time. The whole chat is blowing up. Every time you said one of your programs, they were like, that's my favorite.
Oh, I know. I know. I saw someone too. I said, sorry, I made you cry on the last workout. Yeah, that was a big deal for us. I mean, it was, 5 weeks on the road, didn't come home once. It was and then again, it was just a big project, man. Like, Lift 4 was fun. It was a great time. I never felt that end. I didn't feel the end. I didn't feel the same at the end of Lift 4 that I did 10 rounds. Like, it was just a completely different feeling. And I think it was just because it was such a labor of love, and it was a year of my heart and soul into it. And even watching, like last week, I posted the final video, the BTS, the behind the scenes video of it. Watched on the couch, Brand's like, she's like, you crying again? I'm like, yes. So, it just, it was a big deal. It was a big thing for us, but we also knew that we were creating something special right then and there too. We had created something special. So it's so good. I'm so damn proud of that one. All of them, but that one is just like, I just smile every time. I still do the workouts. Like that's not, that's just how much I love it.
Yeah, it really, really was special. So I want to touch on a few things that you said as you were talking about your programs. The
Sure.
First one is, and just for purposes of kind of overviewing Beachbody on Demand. So Joel is one of our super trainers. We have other super trainers that have also created programs. What's really amazing about the value of Beachbody on Demand, which is our online streaming system, is that you get access to all of these programs. So if you were to, let's say, join us now and order a challenge pack that included Beachbody on Demand, you would get quarter fours, you would get lift 4. 10 rounds is currently on early VIP release, but all of our packs are on sale right now. So you would get access to that program too. Plus, I'm sure you have seen other super trainers like Autumn Calabrese. You'll get her programs.
Right.
You'll get Jericho. He mentioned the word, he mentioned Jericho McMatthews, which was his partner in quarter fours. You get her program, Morning Meltdown 100. So what sets this apart, in my opinion, is the enormous value that you get and the enormous amount of variety that you get in terms of training styles and different ways of training, different methods, different trainers, different motivation styles, which has been a game changer, I think, for a lot of people. I'm speaking for myself. I like changing it up because I like to keep things interesting in my fitness journey so that we don't have that redundancy is what I guess the point I'm trying to make, which makes this incredibly special. So I wanted to point that out. The second thing, you were talking about lift 4, and you said, I wanted to show people that they didn't have to sacrifice their world for fitness and for getting results. And that's a huge aha moment. And I hope you guys like absorbed that statement, because that's what we do. And every program is going to be different, but Lift 4 really is a great program that highlights how this is a lifestyle, and you can work out 4 days a week, have a few rest days, and still get tremendous results. Right. Sure, we have programs that you're working out 100 days in a row. We have those kinds of programs too, but there's a variety, and so that's going to be available to you. And I know, Joel, which I'll touch a little bit on nutrition with you. I know you live the lifestyle of I'm here to live healthy, not
Sure.
to be a slave to fitness and to food. And I don't think anyone can be successful that way long term, or not many people can. So that was another thing. And then I wanted to touch on, because you mentioned, sorry, I have so many thoughts. You talked about how, you've seen people transform with your programs. And I want to say that part of this journey is us being invested in our super trainers too. And we live these journeys with you guys. And so seeing you, and please follow Joel on social media. He has great tile in his bathroom. He knows that I love the tile in his bathroom. That we get so invested in their journeys as super trainers that we push really hard to make them look good. And I think that's a cool kind of like boomerang effect of what we do as coaches and as people on this journey, that they're invested in us getting results, but I'm kind of invested in them getting results too. You know what I mean? So I want to see these programs come out and get amazing results. And what happens to me? I get amazing results because I'm invested in the program so much. And I think I wanted to highlight that because I think that's a really cool point, that when you join this, it's not just about pushing play. It's about this whole environment of success where when we do this together, all of us consistently, we all see success and we all keep pushing for more. So I wanted to bring that up. Okay. Second question is, we're here sitting and we're talking to those that are thinking about joining us. So if you were a coach, and I know you're coming from, always have a fitness background with your work at the gyms and with marketing of gyms and the business of gyms.
Right.
What if you were a coach? If you were a coach right now, what would you say, knowing what you know about Beachbody and what, all of this craziness that we're a part of, because it is craziness, what would you tell a customer about why they should join?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, the one thing I hear from all the time from people about they're talking about, or they're thinking about becoming a coach, they're saying, well, I don't have the same, we don't have your experience in health and fitness. Well, no, you don't have to. It's not necessary. So to be a coach and to be into this world, to share something with somebody else, you don't have to be an expert in it. You don't have to know how a car is built to drive it and to teach somebody else how to drive. Teach your child how to drive. You don't have to know how to drive or how to like what goes into it. That's my job. That's why we make the programs. That's why we have the office and everybody. There's in the fitness and nutrition team. Like there's hundreds of people at the top level, the corporate level, and with us and the super trainers, where we have put the thousands of hours and the years of work into it to make sure that obviously when you do get it, it is the best possible product. Then what happens is your job is to simply learn it. learn the product, learn what it consists of, which is why we always say, do it from day one to day, to the end of it, do it its entirety, do it the way it's designed. Don't mix anything else with it. Follow the meal plan, whether it be ultimate portion fix or two, whatever those things are. We don't have to get into that, but it's understanding, and just then you share your journey. That's why I always tell people the coaches thing is like, my journey is different than yours. And the same thing when I talked about with Lift 4, every single one of us here wake up differently every single morning because our lives are different. You might wake up with 2 kids jump on you. I wake up with 2 cats jumping on me. Like, it is completely different. So, but there's always something in terms of a similarity where people they want to feel connected. They want to feel that there's other people going through the same thing that they are, especially today, this day and age. Right now, people are looking for accountability. They're looking for support. They're looking for a community. They're just looking for this right here. You have, what do we have? 135 people, 32 minus, don't make me do math. There's 132 people on here that are part of a group. This is massive. So the gym's closed. All right. It didn't mean one thing to us because we still have our community. We have our accountability. That's what is so important about what we do in the world of Team Beachbody. And that is what is so important in the world of coaching. It's not about trying to sell anybody anything. That's there. Okay. That's anything in the world. Everybody's always trying to sell something. That's business, but it's the community that we have. It's the accountability. It's this camaraderie. It's this right here where you can just still meet people. It's like a virtual workout, virtual happy hour, virtual something. You guys, virtual everything that's been happening right now is not new to us. This is something we've been doing for years. So, but that's what I would tell people is you don't have to be the health and fitness expert. You're gonna have to do a little bit of work though. You're gonna have to do some reading, and I know Christina will talk about this, not today probably, but like later in terms of what is available from a coaching perspective. Like, everything it's called the Coach Online Office. All that material is there. Like, we do the work to make sure you have all the top sheet. You have everything you need to know about 10 rounds and how to talk to somebody about the program from a top level of what it consists of. And then you do the program, and then you actually can tell them about your experience with it. So everything is provided for you, but those 2 things right there, community and accountability, will always win and reign supreme over anything else.
Yeah, I agree. Like, when we talk about customers, because we have the 2, and I think I'm a lawyer by trade. I began my journey with Beachbody. I was a practicing attorney. I was a partner by the time I left the practice of law because of Beachbody. But what I love about this is that we have these 2 kind of pillars, right? We have the customers and we have coaches. And you don't have to be a coach. You don't have to be a coach. You can be a customer. And the customer and the coach, what we do fundamentally is actually the same thing. Because setting aside the business, what we want is people to get results, right? Like, results reign supreme in our life of Beachbody. That's what we're here for. We want you to have a transformation. And for us, transformation has so many facets to it. It can be a physical transformation, like Lauren, who is going to be talking to you tomorrow, that her physical transformation is going to knock you off your feet. Or my coach, Jesse, who has lost 100 pounds. Or I can go on and on and on. Wendy, 60 pounds. Me, 60 pounds since the start of my journey. I can talk about physical all day long. But the mental, emotional component of the transformation is also huge in this. And we talk about when you join a challenge group, which is what we're going to be providing to you at the end of this, if you do join us in this health and fitness journey. So many people can talk about how just being in a group and meeting other like-minded people who are on the path that they never felt alone in the path was what changed their life and actually was the catalyst to them getting results. And so we have this whole kind of ecosystem that requires you to get results. And, I want to close, Joel, with the question of, how do you get results with this on the customer side? Like, what is your best? Because I know you're very similar to me and to Danny and my sister and Larry and Monica and so many of our team, because our team is a reflection of who we are, how we want to live life, right? But we also need to get results. So what's your best advice for those that are watching this on if they're going to take this step forward? What do you recommend?
You're right. We are like-minded people. That usually just involves tequila, I think.
Yep.
How that's usually ends up being, and a lot of food. So, it's an interesting world of what we have because, and Christina said this already, we have, with all the super trainers that we have, every single one of us brings a completely different look and feel and vibe to the library, and which I think is amazing. I think that's what you need. So me personally, I'm not the athlete. I'm not that guy. Like, I'm not Amwala, Christina, but like, we got a guy who's just, he's ridiculous. He can do anything. And I'm not that athlete. I am the guy that would love to work out with you and take you at the bar, is pretty much how that's going to work out, or go have a cheeseburger. So, but what I do love is feeling good about myself. And we're talking about this mental and physical thing, and it's those two things do go hand in hand. There's no doubt about that. But you gotta, but we also know that feeling good at how you look, and liking what you see in the mirror and liking how your clothes fit, that plays a massive role into your mental aspect of it. It's not everything, but we know that it's also very, very important, which is obviously why that's why the marketing world focuses so much on physical changes first, because it is a good way to obviously go into it. With that said, there's those things that we know at this point in this day and age. It's 2020, even though this is, I think, a year like we're all just going to not count. Basically, it's a leap year, so we really technically don't have to count it anyway, so that's fine. So we're just going to skip this. But in this day and age, there's not a it's really not a mystery anymore. You know what you should and shouldn't eat. You may not know the specifics of it, but you know the things that you shouldn't be eating, and you know the things that you should and should not be doing. Like, come on, we know that. That's common sense. But for me, it's finding those things that you have to look forward to. You have to look forward to doing it. If you don't look forward to it, you will find every excuse in your entire world to not do it. And that's me. That's why I do what I do. I do boxing, I do weightlifting, and I don't run because I have zero interest in running. But if you saw me running, that means something bad is happening in the other direction. So I don't do it. So don't force yourself into these things. Find these things. That's why when we're talking about this library on Beachbody On Demand that has thousands of hours of workouts program that does go all the way back. It goes back to the very beginning, from Power 90 and P90X, and OG Tony Horton's in there, and it goes all the way up to the brand new stuff that's me, and then everything else is coming out this year with Megan and Udanis and all these people. Like, there's something in there for everyone. If you like to dance, it's there. Like, you have to go through, you play with all these different workouts, and you find the ones that you love, that you look forward to, because then when you wake up in the morning, you're like, wow, I really feel like, okay, I want to do that workout again. That was fun. I'm going to do it. Then you're all of a sudden you're mentally changing your daily practices by looking forward to doing something. So that's why it's so important, from the fitness aspect of it, from the nutritional component. That accountability we know, especially right now, is even harder probably than ever before. But that's why it's just as important in the structure, to have structure in your nutrition, as it is to have structure in your fitness. We create these fitness programs that tell you exactly what to do every single day. Your nutrition, if you're trying to get to something specific, a specific goal, lose weight, burn fat, build muscle, whatever it is, you have to have some sort of structure as well in your nutrition. And that's why, and we in Beachbody know this is important, so that's why we have 2B Mindset. That's why we have Ultimate Portion Fix. Even just the basic Lift 4 nutrition plan, for instance, is a basic calorie counter which just balances your macros out, which all of our programs do that anyway. So there's structure already there for you. You just have to find, same thing as the fitness aspect of it, you just have to find for the nutritional component of what works for you as well. And what might work for somebody with 2B Mindset may not work for another person. That's why you have different options. And that's why it's important to talk to people like Christina, everybody who's going to show you exactly what it is. You can try it, you can see it, you can test it, and you're like, nope, that's not going to work. And then you go to the next thing. But that's also what a coach does. And that's also, as you become a coach and you learn what worked for you based on your day-to-day and your life, then you can be like, and you start talking to people yourself, you have the confidence to talk to people about it. You're not telling them all the specifics that went into it. You're telling them, this is how this worked for me, and these are the results I got. And those testimonials are way more important than anything that I could ever say to you, because I'm not talking to that person. You're going to talk to that person. So they do go hand in hand, but it's all about finding the things that work for you. Understanding that you might have to give up a few things a little bit from time to time if it means that you are going for specific results. But at the end of it, if you can build up consistency, and that's what this all comes down to, you guys, is consistency. That is the number one thing that you will see me post. I consistently post about consistency. That's what I try to do, to help people remember that if you can build up the consistency and not just do, and Christina said this at the beginning, like not just do a 30-day program, a 21-day program, and not start and get off this yo-yo, get off this roller coaster of a diet or whatever this is. You find the things that you love to do from a fitness and nutritional component standpoint, then you build up your consistency. So then you really get to start living your life. That's when you start living. Right now, if you're trying to get to a certain point, you're in a transition, you're in a flux. You're going like, I gotta lose this weight, I gotta do this. But once you get it and you're in a consistent world, and I know Becky will be able to talk about this probably better than anybody, where you're just killing the programs one after another, you're killing your nutrition, you're staying consistent, then you can really get into it and enjoy your life. You get the cheeseburger, you get the whiskey, which are my two favorite things in the entire world, and you don't feel bad about it, and it doesn't derail you, and then you get right back to work the next day.
Awesome. Joel, you can go to Mexico now.
Yeah, thank you. I have to go pack at some point.
Yeah, go pack.
A guy packing is easy. It's like this, ready. But no, I was so glad we still got to do this. So thank you for that. And thank you for having me on and thinking me to.
Of course. Thank you so much for being on. It was such a valuable call, fun call. And we know that, you know, this is the start of a process of inspiring a lot of physical, emotional, mental, spiritual transformations, because we've all had them all during this process. So thank you, Joel. You can jump off if you'd like to go pack. I'm just going to close out the call. I
do some laundry.
So much.
I'm gonna go pack, and but thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you for your support, and that's the thing is, you know, if it wasn't for the Team Beachbody world and anybody who's thinking about being the Team Beachbody world, I'd have to go get a real job. So thank you for allowing me to not have to, you know, go to get a real job. I appreciate that. I wouldn't even know how to do it anymore.
You're welcome.
But thank you guys so much. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and good luck with everything. Make sure, and as always, if you're doing programs or like that, you better tag me, because I'm on my phone all day long looking at them. I love seeing the results. I love seeing everybody doing the workouts, and I'm sharing stories every day. My thumbs hurt at the end of the day.
You'll probably be blown up for this call from all the coaches. So
I love it. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Joel. All right, you guys, that was so awesome. So before, I know we're gonna have some people jump off, but before we go, the purpose of this group is really to talk to those of you that need to have that consistency in your life, right? That need to develop this lifestyle because something inside of you is being drawn to do that. That's what we are intending to do with this group. So again, tomorrow we're going to talk about fitness specifically. We're going to talk about nutrition specifically, mindset, as well as our community. We're going to have short little lives that you're going to be able to watch. They're not going to be long. They're going to be 10, 15 minutes long. They're going to stay up in the group, so you don't have to watch them exactly when they go up. But make sure you do. I'm asking you, and coaches, please tag your peeps that are inside the group so that they watch, because we want you to connect to the stories, because that really is what is inspiring. It's not necessarily the products or Shakeology or the fitness program. It's the emotional connections that we have to this process that is really the most transformational thing, and we want to share that with you guys tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please let me know in the group. I will post this recording. That was a lot of fun. And I hope that gave you insight into our super trainer, Joel, and other super trainers, our programs, Beachbody On Demand, which is so robust, is like literally hands down the most valuable tool that we have, because you have access to these world-class fitness programs. You know, a lot of us, and maybe Lauren will talk about this, my sister Becky will talk about this, and maybe even Fran tomorrow. A lot of us come into this world with a lot of failed attempts at health and fitness. Raise your hand if anybody's had any failed attempts at health and fitness. Yeah, like I've taken every pill, potion, fat burner you can possibly imagine. And what happens is you end up failing. What Beachbody does, and I'm not saying this is 100%, I cannot guarantee that anybody succeeds in their health and fitness journey, because it's really incumbent on you to do that. But we build the stamina to go the distance because of this environment that we put together with our fitness programs that are always changing, always fun, always different. Our nutritionals, I mean, this week we got a new Energize, which you'll start learning about. It's what we love, and Shakeology changed my life completely, to our community. So that together, which is what we want to do, fitness plus nutrition plus community plus mindset, is going to help you overcome all your health and fitness failures in the past. We've all had them, and get you on the path to success. All right, you guys, have a great night. Big kisses. We hope this was helpful, and I'll share the recording as soon as it's up.